Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Proper Scoundrels podcast, or the podcast, depending on which one of us is speaking at the time.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's all fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Welcome to our banter.
Yeah, this one's going to be kind of off the cuff because, there's just a lot of stuff that's kind of happened recently. There's some things to talk about, but we'll just see where it goes. I think we do good when we just see where it goes. So, how's life been for you lately? This past week?
This past week has been really weird. I don't
Good
know
weird
why.
or bad weird?
Weird, not good or bad weird. I don't know. I was trying to figure this out the other day, and it's like I've not been angry about anything, but I've been agitated about everything. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's like I've been pinned up in this house for so long that it's getting to me. And so I don't know. I think it's just the house stuff. I think it's just being inside and it being cold. And then we'll have like a couple days of nice weather, and then all of a sudden it's freaking cold again. And it's what do they call it? Not the blue flu. It's seasonal affect disorder.
Is that what they call it?
Sure. Seasonal affect disorder is a thing.
I always call it seasonal depression.
I'm not really depressed. I'm just affected. I haven't been sad and not been, kissing the dark thoughts or anything, but I mean, it's like I'm just
Yeah, I
Itchy.
feel that.
itchy. How was your week? I know you had some travel going on and some class work and whatnot.
Yeah, let me tell you, the TSA, I love those people. They do phenomenal work.
Did they
All I got to
touch
say
you?
about that.
Did they touch you?
No, they did not.
Is that why you were not smiling in your picture?
In my picture?
Yes. Yes, I saw a picture of you and you were not smiling
Oh,
with some students, and I was
yeah.
like, why isn't he
Students of the
smiling?
craft.
Yeah. Like, why isn't he smiling? He should be
Listen,
happy.
man, when the tones drop, the bullshit stops. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, that's what it was. Man,
Yeah,
oh man.
no, I went down to Texas last week for work, and it was fun. I mean, uneventful. Like we did some cool training, and we talked about some things, but other than that, it's business as usual.
Did you go to Waco?
My wife did. So back to the TSA. I was supposed to leave out from the airport at 6 a.m. and be on target in Texas at like 8. And then we were going to go to Waco together and come back and all that fun stuff. Well, I get to the airport bright and early, and because I've got a friend with me that I'm declaring in the bag, they said that I wasn't there early enough and I'd missed my flight. So I got rerouted. I went up to Washington, D.C., conveniently where that plane crashed. I went right over the crash site. That was cool. And then we flew back to Texas from there. Ended up getting there at like 5 p.m., but my wife went without me. It was fine.
So why did you bring your little friend?
Because I will not travel without that thing.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I don't take chances. Like, somebody gave me a good piece of advice years ago. They said, if you have made the decision to carry one, then carry it. Don't let a day go by without it. If you're going to make that decision, have it with you. So that's just what I do.
Yeah, I support that, even though I'm acting kind of shitty about it. Because you don't know when you're going to need that.
No.
It's not like, okay, tomorrow is going to be like a really intense day. I better carry Manuel with me just in case I need to translate some English to gunpowder.
Is that what you call yours, Manuel?
No. I don't have any guns.
Yeah.
Guns are scary. I don't have any. None. Especially
On the
not.
bottom of a very deep lake.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's I turned all mine in to a gun store owner for safekeeping.
Good. Very
Yeah.
good.
So no, I just I don't carry just honestly and realistically, I don't have a problem with anybody who carries. I do find it kind of amusing sometimes when it's like somebody's carrying to equalize,
Mm.
not like a situation, but themselves. It's it's like I can't handle a situation, so I'm going to carry a gun,
Mm.
and I'm like, yeah, you're a bitch, and it's like, but I will say that like a couple years ago when we were having all the peaceful protests and things were happening like up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where
Mm.
a young man had to fight for his life for years on end um, after he fucking meleeed like three people that were trying to kill him. Um, Still down with Rittenhouse.
Do you
Uh,
remember whenever he got freed, they had like specials at the bar that night?
no, but I hope one
Yeah,
of them was
you
clip.
could go order a Rittenhouse, and it was a chaser followed by 3 shots.
uh, hell yeah, I support that. Yeah, make yeah. I've seen some interviews with Rittenhouse, and I've seen some interviews with the guy that got the bicep shot.
Mm.
And I'm gonna tell you, I really don't know that I like either one of them.
Really?
So I absolutely support Kyle Rittenhouse in him protecting himself in the way that he did and the actions that he took. I absolutely agree with the court case that acquitted him. I just, you know, I want a hero that can talk well.
Yeah, and another thing that I kind of struggled with about Kyle is, again, I agree with everything that you just said, but um, he was no longer the humble hero after it was over. It was like I don't know how to describe it, but it was almost like boastful about the actions that took place that night. Like it's a horrible event that happened. And did those people probably deserve to be shot? You
Yes,
know,
I'll say it. Yes,
you
yes,
know
they're
what I'm saying?
chasing a freaking kid. Like three white dudes. I think they were all white, but at
I think
least
so
two,
too.
at least two white dudes um, are. They're not fucking protesting anything. They're just out there to destroy shit. And then they started chasing a kid, and you know, there
And
you go.
shooting at said kid. Let's not
Yeah,
forget that one. They shot at him.
and tried to hit him with a skateboard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that one guy, the one that got killed, like there's videos of him before that using a lot of epithets and talking about how hard he is and how he's, this and that. And it's like, well, yeah, but then, you got capped by a 17-year-old. So you're about as hard as a fucking Q-tip.
I mean, and when you say the words, I will kill you, like, that's case closed, dude.
Yeah.
You punched your ticket, right?
There are so many weird laws and stuff out there. And there's even weirder ones coming. Like California has some kind of uh, law that somebody has to be within like 21 feet of you. And They have to back you into a corner, and there's absolutely no way you could escape. And that's the only time that you can claim self-defense. Um, I'm making fun of this because I heard about it. Alabama is trying to pass a law that allows somebody who's dealing with a depressive crisis to turn their weapons into a gun dealer or a police station, and then they can go back and get them once the crisis has passed.
Uh,
Now, the first thing I think is I feel like there's a question on a form somewhere
yeah.
that you have to answer. And now all of a sudden, the gun store owner is going to know, or somebody's going to know that, maybe one time you had to like have that. And it doesn't, those questions are pretty finite. I feel like somebody might have gotten into a little bit of trouble for answering those questions wrong.
Really?
I feel like there might have been some evidence on the laptop, and there might have been a court case that later got pardoned by his dad,
I'm not tracking.
Hunter Biden.
Oh,
He answered those questions wrong, and that's why he got in trouble.
really?
Yeah, you really don't keep up with things at all?
No, I knew he was in trouble, but I just assumed that it was because like him doing drugs, you know?
Yes, so that was the question that he answered inappropriately.
Okay,
But
full circle. I'm tracking now.
yeah, I think there's like 5 questions on there that if you answer yes to, then you can't purchase a firearm.
But he purchased through a dealer. It wasn't like some black market trade, right?
Yeah, he purchased from a reputable arms dealer, and that part wasn't illegal. The part that was illegal is that he lied on those 5 questions.
Mm, I'm tracking. That's full circle now.
Yeah. So now there's a state that's going to create a law that uh, I don't know, man. It's weird to me because I'm like, you're asking people to create a history to violate their HIPAA rights, to say, hey, I'm having this medical issue and I'm going to let you hold on to these so I can come get them back. It's just weird to me. I'm like, that's some overreach. You
Yeah,
get Doge involved. Go
yeah.
get Elon.
Man, Elon's doing some things right now, man. Like I haven't really paid that much attention to it, but like social media is blowing up with all the shit that he's finding.
Yeah, and so this is something that's interesting to talk about. Everybody thinks that he has some sort of input into the resolution of the things that he's finding, and he doesn't. He has no real skin in the game. He is just going through the records, and it's like, oh, here's where we spent $1.5 million to send condoms to Gaza. Why? Because how would we ever think to look at a spreadsheet somewhere? Would we know where to find a spreadsheet that shows where all this money's going?
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's doing, is he's just pointing out where we're wasting money.
Which that's needed. Like we look at the shape the country's in and like we've got to figure out where this wasteful spending is, you know? And I think there's this administration that I don't back and I don't agree with. But like this is one of the things I'm full for, like we got to figure out where the stuff's going.
I'm looking for a statistic.
Standing by to stand by.
No, don't stand by. So as of February 20th, 2025, the U.S. national debt is $36.2 trillion. 36 trillion with a tango. in debt, and people are wanting to spend 1.5 million for condoms to Gaza.
Yeah.
Fuck Gaza. They voted for them motherfuckers. Glass them. They selected Hamas, the people of Palestine, the people of the West Bank, the people of the Gaza Strip. They elected the people that are running that state. They're barely a country, but they selected those people. So that's what you deal with when you elect somebody who's a terrorist and they do terrorist things. Then yeah, you're probably going to get fucking bombed. Do better, people. I'm going to quote Joey Swole. Do better.
Oh God, I love Joey Swole.
Yeah, I like that's good shitting material right there. Like when you're on the shitter, you don't want to get too involved in anything. You don't want your legs to fall asleep. So you just watch some Joey Swole, get your good vibes going.
Yeah, I don't record people in the gym. What's wrong with you?
You should do better. My gym has big signs up that say no recording and that you'll get kicked out and they'll call the law on you.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There was a lady in there recently with her little tripod set up, and she would post up in weird places where there's no way she's just recording herself.
Hmm.
You know, like and look, I have posted pictures of me doing a handstand in my gym, but you can tell I am in a corner and there's nobody else around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. And I mean, I think people realize that I'm over there recording myself and they're like, I don't want to be in that dude's video.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I did make some of my gym friends. I guess they're gym friends now, but I made them very happy because I had a bunch of eggs.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll come back to the egg issue because that's a fun story.
Oh boy.
But, yeah. So Doge is just going through basically it's not quite public record information, but it's not classified information and there's no, they don't have access. Well, first of all, Elon Musk probably already has access to my social security number.
Oh, for sure.
That's like saying, hey, AT&T doesn't have it. AT&T is about to implode on itself and they have all of our information. And where's it going to go?
Yeah.
I think is it T-Mobile or Verizon that's also failing right now?
Maybe Verizon. I thought T-Mobile was doing pretty good.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, so there's two major telecom companies that are about to implode. And when we people signed up for it, we put in our social security number, we put in our address. It's like anybody with Starlink or a Tesla or any of the Elon Musk stuff, anybody who's got an X account, Elon's already got information on you.
Mm-hmm.
You really think that the South African Batman doesn't have information on you if he wants it?
And, the South African Batman.
And seriously, like, do you really think Elon Musk gives a shit about you? Like all these people who are pissed off that Elon Musk may be able to see my tax return. He is the wealthiest man on the planet. Do you really think he cares about some Democrat with blue hair sitting in a fucking trailer park in nowhere, West Virginia? It's like, get the fuck real. I'm more worried about Big Balls and what he's going to do next.
Who?
You come on, man. You haven't heard about Big Balls?
No.
He's leading the Doge team.
Oh.
He is a 20-year-old kid who has a screen name, much like another person we've been talking about. That
more doors, more doors.
Yeah. So this 20-year-old grown-ass man that we could send to war
that can't buy his own alcohol is going through these spreadsheets and going, hey, Elon, they're spending $80,000 to produce a trans opera in Colombia. That's weird. And his screen name on something is Big Balls. And now,
oh shit.
and the media has gotten a hold to it, and they're like, is Big Balls really who we need? And every conservative on the planet right now is like, yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently we've needed big balls for a while.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah. So it's just fucking great.
You can't make this stuff up. That's the only thing, man.
Yes. What a great time to be alive.
Oh god.
So, okay, what did we say we were going to come back to?
Shit. Eggs.
Eggs. Yes. So there is a girl at my work, a woman. She's a full-on woman. And
Full-grown one.
she's a full-grown woman. And she has a lot of chickens. And I think they're like the fancy chickens. Like, do you know about the chicken army?
The chicken army.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, man, you got to get like an internet connection. So there are these videos of the chicken army, and you're just going to have to go and look for them now. And it's one of those things that I watch in the morning, and I'm like, okay, now my life's a little bit better. It's sort of like that video of it's like a Zoom meeting or something, but there's 3 guys and a girl, and she's talking about somebody called her fat and ugly, and they were like, I can't believe that he would do that. And she was like, I know. And then one of them goes, is that your real hair? I can watch that every day, and it makes my life just a little bit better. And so does the chicken army.
The chicken army.
Yes.
I just Googled it so I'll remember.
Yes.
Is that something you do? I think it's like my ADH or something.
Yes, because when you get those weird text messages from me that don't have any context at all, it's probably just something I'm trying to remember.
Okay. I don't text people and I don't write it in my notes. I'm really bad about taking a screenshot of something. And then throughout the day, I'll go and look back through the pictures that I have and be like, oh, yeah, I need to look at this.
Interesting concept.
What I do.
It would make me crazy to see that in my photo album.
Yeah, there's like 2,000 pictures and like half the shit I'm like, I don't know why I have this in here.
Yeah. Probably the same. And I'm like, I should go with you here one day when I'm not doing anything and organize my pictures, but I don't. But at any rate, there's this full-grown woman at the office where I work, and she's like corporate level. She's on up there. And I give her hell all the time because she tries to tell these stories, and they're just really long, drawn-out stories. And I'm like, if you're trying to make some sort of a point about efficiency with me, you failed like 30 minutes ago. And so everybody thinks that she and I are fighting with each other all the time, but we're really not. We're just like, our autisms match up. And she has all these chickens. And so she was bringing us eggs. And I knew that she was coming up. So I'm like, hey, will you bring me some eggs? She was like, yeah, does anybody else want any? And I was like, I don't know. I'll find out. So I went around the office and I needed 8 dozen eggs.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I was like, hey, can you bring 8 dozen eggs? And she was like, yes. So I sent her some money for 8 dozen eggs. And everybody paid me back, so it wasn't a big deal. She brought 20 dozen eggs.
Oh.
And I'm like, I paid you for 10, not for 20. She's like, you have to understand something about eggs, that they will go bad. And when you produce more than you can get rid of, it devalues them. The only reason that she's selling them right now is because eggs are so expensive in the store. So eggs at the store today or yesterday, I don't think I've left the house today, but yesterday at the store, eggs were $5.50 for a dozen. That's a store brand. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So she's selling hers for $3.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And it's
And
probably healthier than the other shit that you buy at the store.
yeah, I mean, these are farm eggs. She has to wash them. She
Mhm.
said that something about the chickens will lay them in the mud and stuff, and so she washes them. So they have to be chilled. But yeah, so I got, um, you know, I've got all these eggs now, and so I was just at the gym. I'm in the locker room, and getting ready to leave, and this guy comes in that I talked to, and I'm like, "Hey, man, you're not a vegan, are you?" And he's like, "No, what? Why?" I'm like, "Okay." It's like, I've got all these fucking eggs, and they're gonna go bad. Like, I can't eat this many eggs ever in my life. I was like, "So let me give you some eggs." And this other guy was there. I was like, "You want some fucking eggs too, man? I'll give you some eggs." And he was like, "Really?" He's like, "I eat eggs every day." I'm like, "Yeah, come out here to my car. I'll give you some eggs. I've got
Man,
eggs in
this
my
is some
car."
sketch stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Come out to my car, man. I've got some eggs.
yeah, yeah. So, like, it, man, I'm gonna have to go get it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on. You're gonna love this. It's gonna be great. So this is what they come in. This fancy little box with a little string and a little sticker that tells you when they were picked up off the ground. And so I'm giving these tough gym bros these fancy eggs. And look, I like it because some of them are brown and some of them are kind of blue.
Mm.
I don't know if you can really see the gradient there. Yeah. So most people are selling steroids at the gym. I'm getting people hooked on farm fresh.
There you go.
I'm
It
doing
takes
better,
balance.
Joey Swall. I'm
It takes
doing
balance.
better. Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm like firmly one of the cool kids because I've been giving away eggs.
Yeah, they're gonna come into you like that. Dave Chappelle. I got him more of them eggs.
Yeah, man. Hey, you got like a half dozen? Hey, I'm kind of short today. I'm gonna be like, yeah, cash your ass. Nobody gets eggs for free around here, motherfuckers. Man, but seriously, like I've been putting eggs on the dog's food. I'm like, I gotta do something with all these fucking eggs.
Yeah, my dog loves some eggs, man. We'll crack an egg for both of them like every few weeks. It
Yeah,
helps their coat, and they love it, man.
yeah. I only do it on the days that I'm home because I'm worried. I'm like, man, I don't want them to like have to shit or something and they're trapped in the house until I get home. Look at her. She's being all nice right now. She's been a bitch all day.
Where's Ned at?
He's
He
down
showed
here
his
on the floor.
butthole.
He's down there on the floor. She's been mean to him all day.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy. So
so
yeah,
I'll tell
so
you
there's
something funny about my dogs. Um, so I've got two labs, Delta and Zulu. Delta, ever since he was little, he was born with this neck roll, right? And his collar doesn't help. He has his collar on, it makes his neck roll like a lot bigger. So we make fun of him for it. But while we were going to Texas, we had nobody to feed him, or we had to find somebody to feed him because we weren't there. So my mom volunteered as tribute. So she goes and feeds him twice a day. And I know she overfeeds him. We feed him 3/4 of a cup twice a day in the wintertime and half in the summertime. Well, she gives him a full cup plus 6 pounds of treats twice a day, right? So we come back, and these dogs are fat. So they're all excited, jumping around, happy to see us and stuff. Well, when they finally start settling down, I'm listening to Delta, and his breathing is not the greatest. A little bit labored. So I'm like, wonder what's going on with my dog. So I go over there with him, and I'm like petting him, and I'm feeling around his neck, and his collar is so freaking tight. He has given himself an airway obstruction and given himself a little bit of stridor. So we had to remove the collar for a couple days and take him out on many walks, and he has now lost a few pounds.
After just a week. I mean, y'all weren't gone that long. It was just a week.
5 days, man. That dog gained like 37 pounds. Like
Holy crap.
he,
Like,
he didn't gain
dude.
that much, but he
Yeah.
was chunky.
No, I look. She's bad about that. She'll get into moods where she doesn't want Ned to eat. And so she'll eat all the food, not because she's hungry, just because she doesn't want Ned to have it. And Ned will start looking poor. He's got a perfect A-frame on him, you know. So his little hips are super thin, but his shoulders are he's made it. He's gonna be the next Gymshark athlete.
What, next C-Bum?
Digi won't let him eat that much food. She's like, no, I control this around here, motherfucker.
Hey, do you do pre-workout?
No.
No.
No, I be raw dog in life, man.
Hey, man, that's some dangerous people.
I do 3 vitamins a day. I do vitamin D3. I've started taking zinc, and I take a baby aspirin.
Okay.
That's it. I don't take creatine. You know, I have nothing.
Why are you taking a baby aspirin? Like, did you have a event that caused you to do that, or no?
TRT.
Okay.
Yeah. So testosterone replacement can increase your hematocrit, which will make you more clotty.
Yeah, it increases the viscosity of the blood.
Yes. So I just took that as a balance, and I just take a baby aspirin, and hopefully it's doing well. I'll find out, I think next week. I go back for some more testing and to see how my dose is doing, and I'm probably going to up my dose.
Okay.
I'm going to at least talk to him about it, because I just really, like I said, I don't feel any different than I did before. So,
well, if it's any consolation, you look great. Like,
well, I've been working out really hard, and I've been taking vitamin D3, and it's like crazy. But yeah, man, I mean, I know that I've gained like 10 pounds throughout, since January. The first week of January is when I started it. And but I've also seen where I've been eating more food and more good food. And so it's like, I don't know. I mean, I do like my arms do look bigger in my shirts and stuff. And so I guess, and I know that it's working, because when I look at, so 7 weeks ago, I did a week of testing, and I found my 3 rep max on major lifts. So it was the back squat, overhead press, deadlift, and bench press.
okay.
So I got a 3 rep max on those 4 lifts. This past week, we were supposed to be working out with 90% of our 3 rep max. I was exceeding
Good for you.
3 rep max. So I was at like 110 instead of 90. And I probably could have gone up even higher. So I think next week I'm testing again to see where my 3 rep max is.
And that's been a full 2 months since starting.
Yeah, I think this past week was week 7.
Because you started the 1st of January, right? Like within those first few days.
The first full week of January. So I think it was like January 5th or something like that. January
Okay.
4th, maybe. And so yeah, so coming up on that 8th week, I think is when we're gonna, like, I've been following this little plan, and so I think next week we retest to see where our 3 rep maxes are.
Are you
But-
gonna stay with that group to do more workouts with them, or are you gonna switch it up?
I mean, it's working, so I don't know why I would quit.
Well, some people get bored with it. That's why I asked.
Yeah. All right, so strength days are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to do stuff.
Hey, fair enough.
And like, I didn't go to the gym at all today because I didn't sleep last night, and I don't know why. And so I just took a rest day.
Well, that's important, man. That's very important to know your body.
Yeah.
Go, hey,
It was-
I don't have it.
Yeah, it was the day for one, and it's the second one I've taken since I started the first full week of January. And I mean, on those days, like on the weekends, I don't go in there and hit it as hard as I do on a Monday.
Sure.
And like tomorrow when I go, I'm probably just going to do a yoga workout, and then I'll work on my handstands and my L sits, and doing better on the handstands than I am the L sits. But I was
Good.
able to, yeah, I was able to do an L sit hang for I think 10 seconds. And I was like, oh, okay, I might be there. Trying to get that scapular retraction, kind of pulling it in. Like, okay, if I could do this hanging, I can push myself off the floor with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but not no. But it's yeah, I mean, it's working. It gives me some sort of structure and some function, so I just do it, and I like that. I add stuff in all the time, like my jump ropes.
I think I'm going to do the GBRS's training maybe this summer.
What is GBRS?
Yeah, you ever heard of DJ Shipley and
Yes.
Cole Fracker? Yeah, it's their group. Vernon Griffin, he is a strength and conditioning coach. Maybe that's not a good title for him, but like Vernon Griffin's like known in the industry for movements and all this stuff and functionality. And he's strong as a freaking ox. Like he's huge. But like they've done some work with C-bomb and stuff like that. But basically it's a bunch of or 2 former Navy SEALs and this strength dude that's got a workout platform, and they do everything from strength training to just movements and stuff like that. And they've got an app kind of similar to like what you're talking about you're doing.
So GBRS was it's one of those things. It's like, I know I've seen it. I don't know what it is, but I kind of know where it belongs. And I think it was the Angry Vet Bro guy that was talking about Tim Kennedy so much.
Which one? Was it Valhalla?
Yeah,
VFD?
yeah. The hell, because now he's angry at Shipley, I think.
What's he mad at Shipley for?
I just can't keep up with it because
That's why I don't follow him. I know he was mad about Mike Glover.
yeah, it's like that's all his content is like calling out other vets. And I mean, sure.
The thing is somebody's watching it, so that's why he's doing it. But like, I don't have time for him, and like, I don't have honestly nothing against the dude. I just choose not to just live in negativity all the time about these groups of people.
Yeah. Okay. It really comes down to they haven't done anything to me.
Bingo.
I I can't. But I also never watched like the last reality program that I watched was like the Real World New Orleans. It's a old MTV show that was like turn of the century,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just not into watching other people pretend to live their life.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. So, but my thing with Valhalla is like, I get it. You know, you want to call these people out. You want to bring some awareness to something, but is that all? Is that all you have? You know, it's sort of like these channels that exist to just follow around people like Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro, and I'm like, all your content is talking about what they did, and that you have no voice of your own. Like you can't come up with anything. You haven't created anything. You haven't done anything. You're just recycling bullshit, and I don't care. But somewhere or another, as I rant on, I saw something about Shipley and GBRS, and I was like, I know I'm supposed to know what GBRS stands for, and I don't.
So it's Global Battlefield Solutions, but looking at Valhalla's YouTube page, there was some drill sergeant that was like calling out Shipley, and I think he was just like, I think Valhalla was just like, you see this guy, like get a load of this dude type thing, because Shipley was doing some training, like range training, and the drill sergeant's like, oh, he's doing it all wrong. And it's like, dude, this dude is a SEAL Team 6 operator, you know? Like, I'm sure he knows how to properly do whatever.
I yes, but I think Valhalla was a little more on the drill sergeant side.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. Like, you and I might have this experience between us. Can you think of something that I do, and I do it the way that I do it, and you don't do it that way, but we both do it correctly?
Yes.
I was in a class with a medical director one time where we were doing innovations on a dummy, where we put in the blade, lift up, and we put in a tube to make people breathe. So if you don't know what intubation is, it's entering a tube into the trachea for breathing. And so I never have paid attention to the fact that I do this, but when I enter, I always enter with my right hand, and then I swap off to my left.
Really?
So with the blade, I go in with my right hand, I lift up, and I visualize the chords, and then I swap off to my left, and I grab the tube and feed it in.
Were you trained that way?
Haven't the faintest idea.
Okay.
But I did it, and I did it quickly, and I did it correctly. And he was like, "Will you do that again?" And I was like, "Okay." And so he's like, "Did anybody else see what he did?" And a friend of ours was in there with me, and I looked at him, and he was like, "I noticed something, but I don't know what it was." And he's like, "Will you do it one more time?" And I was like, "Okay." So third time, he's like, "All right, did anybody just see it?" And I'm like, "Man, I didn't see it. What are you talking about?" He's like, "You start with your right and then you swap off to your left." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And he's like, "Well, nobody else in the room has as many successful intubations as you. So it's obviously not wrong. It's just not the way that anybody else on the planet does it."
Yeah. I get a lot of hell about how I start IVs, and there's some old people that I work with. It's like, that's not how you do it. I'm like, well, works for me. Then it's worked good for these many years, so it's fine, you know.
Yeah. Like apparently the way that I do it is odd as well. I put a little tension below, and then as soon as I get my flash, I advance my catheter. And people are like, "What did you just do?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know. I've been doing this shit since Moses was a child. I don't think about it anymore. I do it the way that it works for me."
Yeah. So like when I get flash and like I've got the IV set, now I've got to like disconnect the catheter, or not the catheter, yes, the catheter from the needle.
Catheter hub from the needle.
Yeah, and then you put your J loop or whatever you're putting on there, your INT adapter, whatever they call it nowadays. But I take that catheter and I kink it up like a garden hose. And that's just what works for me. They don't bleed. Now, like the 14s and 16s, they bleed a little bit more because they're more rigid than 18s and 20s, but it just works for me and it works well.
You flip it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do that because when I learned how to do it a million years ago, I never could figure out that occlusion. So I was just always bleeding people to death.
Same here. Same here.
And somebody somewhere taught me that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that works well." Just
So how nobody ever taught me how I came to that conclusion is I was working an ambulance with a supervisor of mine, and he started an IV, and right behind the hub on the catheter, he pressed down, and it naturally just caused it to lift up a little bit. But he was pushing down hard to tamponade it, and just with that catheter kind of moving up, I was like, I wonder if you could just kink it off, and it's gonna be fine. Because like I know how to operate a garden hose. I can do that without the spigot or the adapter on the end of it, the nozzle.
I was told one time that doing that could possibly rupture the catheter to where you would have like a rupture outside of the vessel.
Mm.
And I was like, then we shouldn't be using this product. It's not a good product. Because if you do it up in the elbow and then you bend your arm, it's done the same thing.
Yeah.
So if we're using a flexible catheter to do it, then all this shop talk,
It's fine.
it is.
Somebody's going to be like, you know what? That's a great idea. And
Yeah.
if you do think it's a great idea, tell us it's a great idea.
Yeah, leave it down there in
Yeah.
the comments. And while you're down there, hit thrust the subscribe button.
Yeah, that little bell notification.
Yeah, drive your car into it. Well, thanks everybody. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're having a well and healthy life, and hope that you'll be back with us for the next one. Interact with us down in the comments. Hit a like button. Get your friends to look up the thing and hit the like button too. Just, I don't know, help us with the algorithm.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yeah. Hip thrust the caressing buttons. I'm Mr. Ballin.
I don't know who I want to be today.
You can be Eli Double Tap.
Oh man, I like Eli. I like that
Yeah.
name. Or Donut.
Oh yeah, I could probably crush on either one of them.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.